Okay, I think we're about ready. I think we have to stand far apart. No cell phone. So welcome everyone to the first ATTO Workshop that's in person, but also live streamed, which is why we have this microphone audio, and hopefully it works, and hopefully it's not just getting pictures of the back of us. I don't know, but that's up to others. So welcome, it's great to see people here. We'll have more people tomorrow, I'm sure. Don't know where I should stand. And especially after last year's workshop where we bravely went together online. It's nice to see so many faces here and so many people that we haven't seen for quite a long time in person. Hey. So. Okay.
Yes.
So, Beto and I have a presentation, but we have no slides. We have just some words of welcome and some information about some ongoing initiatives and just some communications about how the project is developing. So I'll let Beto go.
Yes, thank you, Sue. Wow, weird.
Yeah.
I cannot say how happy I am to be again standing here, seeing this auditorium full of people. You know, it's been 3 years since the last one, and I welcome you. I say thank you for being here. You know, some of you coming from very far away, you know, fighting against being afraid of jumping in planes again and see people, be beside of people. So thank you for being here. It's great. It's actually emotional to have everybody here again and being able to exchange about ATTO. So very happy that we are all together here again. So welcome. Very nice to be here. Excited as well. And yes, we didn't prepare. We didn't prepare slides because you're tired of slides, of course. You don't want to see slides, you want to hear to us.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So, I think what I wanted to say is that, you know, the ATTO has been, it started as the dream of people like Andy Andrea and Jürgen Kesselmeyer and Antonio Manzi, you know, 2007 already. And I think we can finally say that, you know, right sort of before the pandemic, we were getting ready to finally have the tall tower instrumented the way everyone dreamed. And then the pandemic happened. Thanks to everyone here on the team here. So we in Germany got to watch and do nothing for several years but work continued. I mean, it was really astounding that the field site didn't close. The measurements kept going until the instruments broke, but they kept going. And in addition, there were all kinds of new things installed, so that actually by the, I don't know, end of 2020, start of 2021, really things were getting to be in the final state. And, you know, those of us who had equipment delivered just before the pandemic started and have now had time to install it. And so I would say, I just got Reiner's latest weekly report, and it's 137 pages long now. So there's a lot more going on at ATTO. If you look through all the instruments, all the measurements, so it's, to me, it's even more than was dreamed of, because people like Luis Machado brought their old instruments and said, hey, why not put this at ATTO? So we now have the Campina site. And I really think that, you know, the observatory as it now exists is really something unique. I think there's not really maybe any place else in the world outside of maybe Finland that has this combination of measurements to understand the atmosphere, its chemistry, aerosols, bioaerosols, cloud formation and cloud life cycle, it's just astounding. Micrometeorology, all these things together at the same time, and so I think right now we are poised to really, in the next couple of years, do science, do some really amazing science that maybe got delayed by the pandemic, but I think there'll be lots of new discoveries to come. And then one of the points, the reasons we're here is to make sure that we plan together for those things. I mean, yeah, I think that's good. So the other thing that Beto and I spent time on was trying to make sure that we have the money to do all this work. And so I think the other thing is that we're in a pretty good financial situation for keeping everything going for the next few years, and also with some money for science as well. So I don't know, on the German side, it's kind of continuing the same. We have the support from the Max Planck Society that allows us to help support the infrastructure, help fix the roads, keep the generators going, things like this, keep some people here, keep the office going here. So, and then we also have the BMBF, our funding agency, that's funding the science. And our grants go until mid-2024. And one of the things we need to do now from our side is to start to convince the BMBF that they need to do another round of 3 years so that we can keep, not just make measurements, but get the most out of them and keep things going. So.
Yes, from the Brazilian side, we also have had a good turnaround with funding. Well, there were some dark times when I came up to it, but we managed to survive. We managed to get funding through time, but recently, with the release of the FNDCT funding, it was, for those who doesn't know what I'm talking about, is a big pot of money for science. It's royalties from oil, basically. And these were locked in time for many years. And now, the Congress made a movement and released this funding for science again. So there has been, more money into Brazilian science this year. And with this, means that we managed to approve funding for ATTO that should keep us going for 3 or 4 years. So it's a substantial funding. And also we recently, I can split these numbers in many issues here. So it's maintenance, it's equipment, buildings, things we need for keeping ATTO running, cars, things like that, also scientific equipment. But one important thing there, apart from the diesel to keep the electricity going on, which is very expensive, is people. In this funding, one thing that we need to discuss here, and I will already drop the seeds of the discussion, is that we need to see how we will welcome 8 new postdocs to the group. So we need to discuss how we split those scholarships, where we want to go. So this is one thing we need to discuss here. I would like to invite the community to do that. Also recently, CNPq had a call dedicated, a funding call for proposals dedicated to ATTO, and we have selected 6 new projects, 5 of them for people that were already part of ATTO. There is one newcomer that unfortunately it's not here today. So we are in a good funding situation from now on. Money for science, money for maintenance, playing together with Sue and I, funding things, so we are okay. We can't complain, to be honest, which is not usually what we do in science, right? We always say, fuck, where's the money? Well, I don't know what happened this year, but happened. We are there, yes.
Okay, and then I guess there's maybe for us all to legally work together. One of the things that's happening now that people might be curious about is the scientific expedition license and the renewal. So maybe you can...
Yes, we are working together with CNPq for the expedition license. Bruno is leading this. And there has been some sort of turnaround, a different turnaround there. We submitted requests for adding names to the proposal, and when we did this, they extended the time of the original expedition license. So it was supposed to have ended already, but still didn't. And we are working on the reports for extending for another 3-4 years. With the funding, it's much easier because you can connect the length of the expedition license to the funding you have. So like I have 3 years of approved funding, so we should get 3 years, like not every year having to renew the expedition license, so we should get 3 years now. And so we are about, right Bruno? We are about to send the report, and I think the deadline now is December, so we got these extra months when we added extra people. So this is also under control and should be working just fine.
Okay, so I guess the other things we can talk about are that, because ATTO really has so many resources poured into it and so many measurements that it's starting to become a platform that people want to come to and bring their own instruments. So the best example of that was the Cloud Roots group, who I think ran a very successful campaign in August, and they were very happy people, and they got a lot of support from people here. But I think it was very successful. Also upcoming is the Halo Café Brazil campaign that many people here are involved with, and so there's a lot of support to come there. I think it's also important to point out that ATTO is much better known among the public now than was before. So I probably everybody has seen the Fantástico report. Bruno was trying to get one dubbed in English, but for those who haven't seen it, it's really a nice report because it focuses on the people at ATTO, who live at ATTO, and really support all of us to work there. And Bruno told me today it's 22 million people in Brazil have seen this film and downloaded it. So it's really, my cab driver knew exactly what I was talking about when I said I work at this tall tower outside. And that wasn't happening before. Also, Iris Mobius, who's handling a lot of the social media. So we have almost 2,000 Instagram followers. So if you want your photo to go viral, you can put it on the ATTO Instagram feed. But she also found a children's book that was written by someone in the US that was about, we need to save the Amazon, and it has one of the drawings in the book has the ATTO Tower, and it says it's this important platform to measure things. Someone we never heard of who has, thought it was important to put us in a book. So it's kind of cool. But also there's the museum exhibit that I think Paulo Artacho was involved with at the Museum of the Future in Rio that's going to Chicago next, I guess. So we're becoming part of the public conversation. And on Thursday, I don't know where Sibel is there. So we have also this becoming better known in the local communities and giving back to the people who live in the area. So on Thursday, we'll have a visit from the teachers who are involved in the community project. And so we look forward to meeting some of these people that I've seen only in pictures. So.
Yes, lots going on, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see, what else? You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I guess what we would expect from the workshop, isn't it? Where would we go, maybe?
So the workshop is for, as all of our workshops, it's, we're focusing on scientific exchange. So we have this format with mostly short talks and posters, very few kind of plenary talks with some time set aside for discussion of just these kind of things like how many, since we get some new postdocs, what do we want the advertisement to look like, which is great news. What are the things we're missing? What kinds of measurements do we wish in 5 years we had made so that we can make them now? Do we have enough links to the other projects that are going on in the region? Do we have the right links to remote sensing people who can, watch our sites from above as we watch them from shorter distances above, I guess. And so, a lot of it is for scientific exchange. We have many disciplines here, from meteorology to aerosols, to biodiversity, and so we all need to learn from each other, and that's the idea here. So I think, as with the workshop in 2019, we will have lubrication to facilitate scientific exchange with the beer and poster sessions. That was a...
Yes, free beer.
Yeah, but not until the afternoon.
Yes. We had to move things around in the program, so we will not be drinking in the morning. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not going to have my glasses on. The other thing that I will need to mention is the need to remind people to put their data, because communication is not just sharing, talking, it's also sharing data, and I think this part of the project is going to be really critical to make sure that people can, in a timely way, find what they need. And I think it's improved a lot with, there are some issues I know with the Bexis portal that we're trying to fix right now, but I think overall where there's a will, there's a way to get data shared. So, yeah, and I think the other thing we need to do is think a little bit ahead to the future, what happens beyond 2024, 2025, where, we have to think about what else needs to be done, what the project looks like for the 20-year time frame that it was designed around, right? So the scientific questions we ask are such that we want to follow lots of extreme events. I think we've been lucky since 2012, when some of the continuous measurements began. There have been some big events and we've seen some papers on those, and I think more will come out in the next years. But also to accompany this long-term trends, warming and changes in precipitation in the basin as a whole.
What else?
What else? You can thank people?
Thank people, maybe. Yeah, just...
Or, if people have questions, maybe.
Yeah, one thing that, with the new scholarships that we get, And Susan has always been also generous in covering scholarships for, outside of our MCGI funding. It perhaps is a good point to think about where we want to go that we have not been doing, or where we would like to strengthen things that we are already doing, but we want to do it better. So this is one point. And also, I wanted to say to the Brazilian community that we do have funding for travel, we do have funding for paying publications now. I know Nelson always wants to publish and get something covered, so it's back. And so please feel free to talk to us, and I guess it's a good idea to, at the start of the project, think about, well, is there anything else we want to do? I think this is connections that we want to build between groups, in the interface of different disciplines. I guess this is one way of looking to our time here. And that's the reason, actually, because we give you beer, because actually you're drinking a beer, talking about science is where the best ideas come from. It's not just party, you'll be working. Okay? So, that said, thank to people.
Yeah, just one more thing. I think the other thing, I was at ATTO just after the Cloud Roots program. There were 36 people, I think, was the maximum, Bruno, at the camp. And so we also, I think, in the next year are going to start to really stretch our support people, because everybody's eager to get back in the field, everybody's eager to make their measurements, and we need to just also be kind to the people who support us, and also communicate plans in advance so that you can be supported, not just come at the last minute and say what you need. I think the other things that we'll talk about at the workshop are, I think with lots of people also come increased concerns for the safety. We have a lot of new people going to the field site. Do they know what to expect when they get there? Are they prepared for the kinds of challenges that they might have, both physical and mental, being in a place that might be unfamiliar and with people they don't know, from a culture they don't know. So we want to have one breakout group that will start for people who are interested in helping improve things. There's actually a lot of really good information available that I think most people don't know where to find, and we should update that. So Reiner has put a lot of things on the data portal that contain lots of good information, but I bet if I asked everybody here, they wouldn't know it's there. So we want to kind of publicize these things and make sure that we inform our new students and our new postdocs just what to expect when they go to the field. So with that, maybe
along with that, thinking on the conditions we had in the field now, and going to be very often, ATTO is going to be a very busy place. One of the things we have in line with the funding is an extension of the camp. So we probably will build a new camp that will have accommodation for the workers, special accommodation, let's say, for people that are resident in ATTO, so they have more privacy, and also to expand our capability of getting people there, also fixing roads, buying new cars, it's shopping time.
Yeah. I think Bruno's already got he's already spending the money. So.
But Bruno, he's very fast in spending money.
So, okay. And maybe it's then time to thank people.
That's the time for
So, first of all, to Bruno and to Roberta, who are, most of us our window into ATTO and getting here, getting equipment here. And it's just, I know you both work super hard to support everybody. Roberto is printing posters on Saturdays, I think, and also Sibeli. So I think we owe these three in particular a huge thank you for making sure that we can all be here today.
Yes, true. Also Belinha, Denise, who also helped. Say hello, Belinha.
Yep.
Where is Denise?
Denise, she's hiding.
Okay. So they also helped a lot. But in general, I would also say a big thank you for, the whole team, Heine, Stefan, Najib, Antonio, Amaury, everybody from the camp, San, Sipco, there is always a lot of people working hard, so things are standing there, right?
Yeah. And I wanted to say thanks to Viviana Horna, who many of you maybe don't know yet, but she's our new coordinator from the Max Planck side for the ATTO project, and I'm sure you've seen her emails because you're here. So she's got the job of trying to keep Beto and I giving information, and yeah, so she has a tough job, but please say hello to Viviana.
Yeah.
And,
welcome, Viviana.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if she's watching, but Iris Mobius is, okay. Iris Mobius is, unfortunately, she was sick and couldn't make it all the way here, but she's doing the website, the social media, and so she's here in spirit, if not in person. So.
Yes. Am I forgetting anyone to say thank you? Probably.
Probably. And I guess if anybody has questions for us,
yes,
too, this is a good time. Otherwise, I'll go have dinner.
Yeah. Well, one thing, Heine once. Okay.
You sure? We have to repeat the question then. Yeah. It's on.
Yes, sorry, my friend.
We can repeat the question right now.
I didn't catch exactly the situation about the expedition license. We have a current extension until December, and then we get a new one, or? Yes. Okay, so we don't have to worry about anything. It works. No. Don't have to worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions?
Okay.
I have a question. Do we have dinner tonight? Or each one has their own plans? We haven't organized anything, so
No.
that's a good question.
You're asking me? Can we just show up with 50 people for a...
Well,
I don't think so.
well, if it's a bar.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not the local person here, so I don't know.
I don't know. Just saying. Question, people, seriously.
Nope. Then you're free.
Then you are free. Lunch will be served here tomorrow and up to Thursday, right? So just, this is important information. There will be lunch, and
Yeah.
after lunch there will be beer, right? Yes. And what else?
I don't know. Are there any logistic things that you want
Need to be sorted, like people who is going to ATTO, who is not going to ATTO on Friday.
So there were, yeah, we would like to, oh yeah, Viviana's okay. Yeah.
Just for the people who is going to ATTO, please, there will be a list at the entrance. And if you sign with your name, and there is the possibility to come back on Saturday and on Sunday, both days. Yeah? we need to know, we put a limit of 25 persons, so please just sign in and we will see how many come. And the other thing, just for the people who need a certificate, mainly the students, I will repeat that tomorrow because that's important tomorrow. We need that they sign up in the list or that they are present not on the YouTube channel but on the Zoom. Yeah. Do I forget anything, Sibeli? I think. Yeah, I think we have 2 persons presenting tomorrow in the morning. If they could probably give me the presentation tomorrow morning latest so I can upload that in my computer so we have everything ready. Huh? With the PICOs, I think there are some people, some poster session organizers who will take care of the PICO presentation.
Yeah, but we have also, tomorrow, we have an online version for the people who couldn't be here in person, so they will, in case the internet's not working well, we have recorded PICOs that we can play for people here, but the idea is we will have at least partly this online Gather Town thing, so the posters should be available for everyone to see, not just the printed ones here, but also the Gather Town thing that we used last year. I think you got instructions from Iris, and yeah, that we can use this, and for anybody who's never used it, we can show you how. But so the posters can be viewed online anytime, but we'll also have them physically in person here after each session. So all the poster sessions will start with 3-minute talks, whatever language you're most comfortable in, and then people will, just to advertise your poster, what's on it, and then people will come and look at your poster.
Yeah, if you are here, you are supposed to come here, 3 minutes, say a few words, invite people to your poster.
Okay, so we'll hear it again tomorrow.
And I guess the idea is to be informal, right? So we are among friends. We are not very formal people, right? I am not. So don't be shy if you are shy. Just let's have fun. So welcome.